the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, starting with you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So we're here today on 3 contested issues. I'll start by announcing the agreements. Parties agree that Ms. Viana will continue to carry the private health insurance for the children. Parties are also in agreement that that Mr. Budnar will compensate Ms. Viana in the form of cash medical support and cash dental support in the amount of $112.97 per month for the cash medical support and $6.50 for the cash dental support. Now, neither party is seeking non-disclosure of their contact information either, so there's an agreement there. The contested issues, Your Honor, are as follows. First is the issue of guideline child support. The state has requested guideline, we're requesting the guideline amount of $929. There is an agreement that Mr. Budnar's gross monthly resources constitute $6,093.73. So the amount of the income is not, my understanding is that's not being contested, it's the amount of the support. So I calculated the guideline support of $929 per month. Mr. Budnar is in opposition. He's requesting this court set the child support to $850 a month. I'm also requesting a judgment on arrears in the amount of $757.
This agreed or contested?
The arrears is contested, Your Honor.
Okay. On child support arrears, what is it?
It's on child support arrears, it's $0 as of April 30th, 2025. On the medical support arrears, it is $757.59 as of April 30th, 2025. We're requesting, Your Honor, that Mr. Budnar be ordered to pay off this balance at the rate of $54 per month. Finally, is court costs, Your Honor. State's requesting Mr. Budnar pay court costs due a year from today. Mr. Budnar is in opposition. He would like that to be waived against him.
Okay. Then we'll get started. They're going to call witnesses one at a time. Either of you, the state makes to make that decision. However, when you're testifying, the other person, I need you to remain silent. Don't try to talk over them or interrupt them or try to tell your story in the middle of somebody else. You're going to get your full turn as much as I can give you today or what's left of today, but don't interrupt. You'll be given the same courtesy. However, if you do have a legal objection to whatever is going on at the time, I can allow that, but not to just reply out of turn. And again, you'll be given the same courtesy. So pick a witness and start testimony, Mr. Joseph.
Yes, Your Honor. I'd like to start Mr. Budnar.
Okay.
Okay. Good morning. Good afternoon, sir. Could you please state your name?
My name is Alexander Budnar.
Please state the name. Could you please state the name of your child?
My daughter?
Yeah, yes, sir. Sir, could you please state the name of your child?
Arialine Rose Viana.
I'm having trouble hearing you. I don't know. It sounds a little tinny or I don't know what it is, but I didn't quite hear the name of your child. So if you'd repeat that.
Arialine Rose Viana.
Maybe I just don't understand the name. So, okay. How old is she, sir?
She's 9.
She's 9? I'm having trouble with your audio. Why is that? Mr. Joseph, can you hear everything or you already know what he's going to say? So it's not as
I can hear him. No, Your Honor, I can hear him.
Do you mind maybe leaning forward a little bit, or I don't know what else I could do. It's not the volume, it's how it comes across. Okay, let's keep going.
Can you hear me now?
That sounded a lot better and clearer. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Okay, Your Honor. So Mr. Budnar, it's my understanding did I mischaracterize any of your positions in my opening statement, sir?
No, sir.
Okay. So you're requesting this court set child support to $850 a month. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Could you please explain to the court why?
So we had several meetings in the last few months. They broke down numbers. They calculated a lot of things. And the very last meeting that we had, the final amount that came down with was like $852, $853, including the medical support. But now you are saying they made a mistake. So how is that my fault? Because you said that someone made a mistake on your staff.
Okay, sir. The support amount discussed at the last meeting, did that result in a final order?
What do you mean?
Was there a formal court order requiring you to pay that amount of $850, sir?
No, that was just,
Okay, so the discussions prior did not result in a court order, is that correct?
that's correct.
Okay. Okay. You're also opposed to the judgment on arrears, is that correct, sir?
So, as I was talking to you earlier, I have no idea where their back pay came from. A month ago, there was nothing in there. That was just brought up, but no one wants to tell me where that came from. I've been paying the same amount of child support monthly payments since we opened the case. So can I get some kind of documentation where all that back pay came from?
Yes, of course. Your Honor, at this time, I'd like to present the state's Exhibit 1, the state's financial activity report in this matter.
And in what manner are you wanting to screen share it? Because that's the only way we're going to be able for Mr. Budnar to look at it. And
Oh, I'll have to switch devices in order to do that.
have you seen a pay record that they had for today, Mr. Budnar?
What do you mean, ma'am?
The state's the one that takes the money in and has an account on every individual or every case, and they put in the ongoing, you know, what's owed, what's paid, and the balance. And every month that happens. And if there's anything that's owed, they put interest on it. If all sorts of things. So it's a very detailed thing. It could be several pages long, and that's in every case. So have you seen anything like that? Even the one that was attached to the pleading that you got served with?
I received a letter a few weeks ago, initially stating that I owe back pay for $1,500, and they reported to the credit bureau. Last meeting that we had at Ms. Garcia, she said that she couldn't figure out what that amount was.
Actually, Your Honor, these are settlement negotiations. They're inadmissible.
Okay, it's a question of if you're, have you seen the pay record or not today? Whatever the, that includes through April 30th of this year. It's an Excel spreadsheet that has all the lines with columns with how much you owe, how much you paid, and the balance at the end, whether it's zero or not.
I can try, but I have not seen it. Seems like changed.
You know, I'm not gonna just look at it myself. I need him to look at this so we can.
I can email it to him, Your Honor. I can do that right now.
Like a lot of times, just so that you're aware, if you're ordered to pay a monthly amount, it's also allowed to be paid through your employer or salary or whatever. They take it out of your paycheck at a weekly or bi-weekly or semi-monthly amount, however your pay period is. So if you do, if you have 2 pay periods a month, it might show up a certain way, but if you have 3 pay periods, you might be a little bit behind or a little bit ahead over the course of the year, but by the end of the year, it would have equaled the same amount of 12 months at that dollar amount that you owe. So sometimes it shows you're behind, sometimes it shows you're ahead. So it changes because of the way it's collected by your pay period.
I understand, Your Honor. It's just several meetings. They said nothing is, I'm not in arrear.
Objection, Your Honor. Settlement negotiations are not admissible.
Oh, Mr. Budnar, just hold on with that kind of objection of what everybody said somewhere else, because that is hearsay. That may be bad advice, but I need to see for myself in this courtroom what the pay record is, and we can show it to you as well. That's what I'm waiting for. But what somebody else said about it, or wait, the only way I can take if it's testimony from you on what you saw and on what date and what amounts, if you have any of those pay records, but not what somebody told you at a different conference. Meeting.
I have a couple minutes. Let me look through screenshots. I know I took a screenshot of something. Let me see if I can find it.
Oh, God.
Can I have that couple minutes?
Well, I guess so. I don't have a choice, but
I'll be right back.
try not to keep us past 5, but I have a
no.
feeling it will be.
I got you. Give me a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
Your Honor, at this time, may I email Mr. Budnar the financial activity report in this matter?
Yes, if you're gonna do that, email it to Ms. Viana, and then I want to see it on the screen. I'm sure you already emailed it.
I can switch devices if you'd like me to screen share.
Yeah, I would actually.
Okay,
'Cause whatever he's gonna come in, gonna be with a prior amount whenever that was, so he won't have the current one that you're looking at. I need him to see the current one.
yes, of course. Okay, I'll have to hop off and hop back on then.
Okay, what do we want to do first, Mr. Budnar, screenshots or your pay record, Mr. Mazzie?
I can share the pay record at this time. I can screen share and
Okay, there is a balance that you started out with. That's where,
yes.
okay, but that was 2018. The state's gonna scroll down now, and you don't have to scroll too fast or too slow, but you see those payments coming in? I assume those were from pay periods, the same amount, several times a month. This is now your last page, Mr. Mazzie? Can you scroll over to
Yes, Your
the
Honor. Yes, Your Honor.
right-hand corner so I can see how many pages and the date on there?
Oh, yes, of course.
You see that,
Page
yeah,
11, Your
that scroll
Honor.
bottom?
Date May 15,
Yeah, there you go.
2025.
You're not quite there yet.
There's no other pages, Your Honor.
There it is. So it's dated today, May 15th, 2025, and it's 11 pages long. And it's the last page is not a full page, and now I'm seeing the blank part of the bottom. That's fine if you scroll back up. And now that I've seen the date on it and the page numbers, you can scroll back to the left a little bit and show me the okay. You can, oh, there you go. So I can see the left part now without the page number. Okay, here we go. It shows the actual payment history. Now, I guess you're the one that is managing this, Mr. Asi. Can you highlight or put an arrow on the April 30th amount, starting with the date and then scrolling across slowly?
Yes, of course, Your Honor.
Okay,
Yes, Your Honor.
you see
So,
that
April 30th,
April
2020.
30th. As of the last day of last month, which is what we usually look at, they did show 0 in child support, your balance. Can you highlight that one? Okay, that
Yes.
corresponds to the date. Now, that's on the child support column. Now, there's a medical support column because you're ordered to pay, it looks like $117 a month right now on that. And that's where they get the $757.59 that they say you owe as of April 30th. And then the last amount is how much you owe on the child support, which is 0, and how much you owe on the medical support, the total amount, and it's still the same $757.59 because you don't owe anything on child support. Now scroll up to the prior page, I guess slowly to the bottom of the prior page first. Okay, go to the bottom first, not the top, the bottom. Okay, there's April, there's March. I'm looking for any zeros at any point in time. When do you think you went in, and when would that 0 be showing that you owed nothing, Mr. Budnar?
All I know is what I was told from the previous child support officers, that I don't know anything behind.
Objection, hearsay.
Okay, Mr. Budnar, I wasn't there. I'm not gonna know exactly who else was there and what was said or all that. So it's called hearsay. So you can't testify what somebody told you. Now you can testify about knowledge of something. So your knowledge of when you were at that meeting is that you thought you owed 0. But isn't it possible that the 0 they could be referring to as the 0 in child support?
I can only say what I was told, Ron. That's all I know.
And do you know what date you went to that hearing at which you think you owed nothing?
Well, I think it was April 24th, might have been.
Okay, well, I can see where you did owe 0 child support as of the prior month. That's something we do. If we're taking arrears judgments, we look to the prior month at the end of that month, what you owe, instead of trying to capture what you owe this month, because the whole month hasn't gone by and all the payments haven't come in, and you might still owe more or whatever. But it does show 0 in child support. It does not show 0 in medical support, even as of March 31st. which would have been the prior month if you were there in April. Now, for my benefit, it slowly scroll to the top of the page, Mr. Asif. Okay, I see a lot of zeros on the child support column, but the medical support hasn't completely been paid off. And that was page 10 then. Go to the previous page, just because now we're in mid-August or mid-2024, August here. And the prior page, Mr. Hasif. Okay, starting at the bottom and scrolling up, I see again a 0 for child support at the end of, well, on August 30th. And scroll up to the top. Mr. Steve, you may want your chats or something not to come through. I'm seeing something on the side.
Oh, yes, of course.
Okay, I didn't see any more zeros on child support, and I definitely don't see any zeros on the medical support. Now, you told me you took a screenshot, you went looking for it. What happened to that, sir?
I can't find it, Your Honor. I thought I had the screenshot that I had was with the actual balance from my account with OAG. They always said like 100 and something just because of the way payments go, but I cannot find that right now. I'm still trying to see if I can locate it.
Well, the only way I'm gonna believe anything that was zeros is if you show me the paper, because right now what I'm seeing, there are no zeros for the medical support in the past more than a year. We're going back to January of 2024 and I haven't seen any zeros on the medical support. Did he ever get it paid off? Because we started in 2018 and he owed 3,000 at the beginning. Keep scrolling back, Mr. Steve, just for my benefit, if he ever paid it off, or now he's close to paying it off, super close, and is keeping up with current. Yeah, it's still in the 700 or 800 range through the year of some of 2023. Keep going. And now it's in the 1,000 range in 2022. So I don't know if you remember, but I saw a $3,000 balance you started with on the medical support column. You want to go all the way back to, oh, here's some zeros, but that's in 2021.
The first page, Your Honor?
Well, yeah, but right now the page you're on is showing me the end of 2021. I see some zeros on the medical support column. And again, not just at the end of the month, at the end of the year, but in, looks like September 30th of 2021, he didn't know any medical support. Okay, so the zeros have been in prior years, sir, not current. And so unless you show me some screenshot that they presented you with that you actually have proof of, this is the proof I have. I can't trust anything else other than this pay record. They've been accurate as far as I can tell. I've never seen anything go wrong. If it's coming in like clockwork, you're getting it applied like clockwork, and the balances keep coming down. You see at the end, the total column, how you don't know that much. And then the overall is at the end of the last page, which would show the April 30th numbers. Okay, do you need to see anything else on this pay record, Mr. Budnar?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about the pay record, Ms. Viana, or need to see anything else on it?
No, ma'am.
Okay, you can stop screen sharing, Mr. Asif.
Okay, Mr. Budnar, it's my understanding you are opposed to paying the court costs for today's proceeding. Is that correct, sir?
I cannot understand anything you're
You
saying.
didn't come through clear, Mr. Asif.
Let's see. Mr. Budnar, it's my understanding you are opposed to paying the court costs for today's proceedings. Is that correct, sir?
I don't know if it's my connection or yours, but I can hear you very robotic.
I figured out what you said, but can you hear me, Mr. Budnar?
I can hear you, Your Honor.
Now he's doing what you were doing earlier. I don't know how that switched, but he asked if you were opposed to paying court costs. Did I hear you right, Mr. Asif?
Yes, Your Honor.
Something's wrong with your audio and your video aren't matching necessarily. It's lagging. Yeah, that'll help maybe with the audio if you stop the video.
If I
so-
could go off camera, maybe.
Yeah, but
better?
it was
How's
still
that?
sketchy. We'll try another question or the.
Uh, I could switch devices back to my iPad. It won't take long.
All right, do we need to screen share anything else before you go away, Mr. Asif?
No, Your Honor.
Sounds like you're better now. Keep going.
Yes, Your Honor. So, Mr. Budnar, Mr. Budnar, beg your pardon. It's my understanding that you are opposed to paying the court costs for today's proceeding. Is that correct, sir?
Yes, sir.
Can you please explain to the court why?
Because we tried to reach an agreement and you came in and we end up in front of the judge because you didn't want to actually.
Action, hearsay.
If it included him and you and or the mom today, I don't see the hearsay, Mr. Asif.
Okay, retracted.
Okay, so just tell me in your brain what's going on, not what somebody else told you or those kinds of things, Mr. Budnar.
About the whole payment or what,
The
Your Honor?
court costs right now. He's talking about the court costs, so let's just go with his questions.
I wasn't expecting to see you, Your Honor. I thought we'd try and figure out the numbers. The only issue we had was as far as the back pay. I was trying to get an explanation. That was the only thing.
Follow up, Mr. Asif?
Sorry, Your Honor, what was that?
Follow up, he's still your witness. He just answered your question.
Oh, I have no further questions. I think that covers all of his positions on all of the issues. I'll pass the witness.
So where did it fall off, Mr. Budnar? If you had an agreement, we're gonna come see me. Why are you here? I'm not totally following.
No, Your Honor, I thought I would have to still talk to the child support division. They were supposed to tell me just about the back pay. Why do I have to owe money? But no one said I would have to end up in front of Your Honor right now. And
Okay, have you not been to court before? You had to come to court to get your original court order of support and visitation and all that?
I did, Your Honor.
Okay. I assume you would understand that if you're talking to the state, they're a party here, and you're also talking to the mom, she's another party. If you all agree, they do the paperwork and you don't have to come see the court. But if you don't agree, that's what I'm here for. You didn't, so at what point did did they break down and y'all were no longer in agreement? Today? Or were you've been here all day, so. What do you want to tell me about the child support that you don't agree to? Because that's really the bigger issue, aside from what you owe in medical arrears.
We was going based on the amount, based on how much I made. I was trying to explain the attorney. They try to go based on the income from the last year. Then they switch it from this year. So the amounts are totally different. What I actually did on the Attorney General calculator, that's a completely different amount from what he's coming up with.
I can explain, Your Honor.
Okay, let him finish his testimony, then you can reply or whatever. So is that the computer on their website, a program on their website or some kind of calculator that you
Yes,
plug
Your Honor.
numbers into, or was it somebody else's calculator?
No, Your Honor, that's the one from Attorney General's website.
You do realize that if you put different numbers in, you'll have different results.
I put exactly according to my very last paycheck from the last year. That's all the numbers that I put down, including the medical support.
So did you get a gross monthly amount, and what would that have been, sir? To get to your calculation for child support, you have to plug in a gross amount and maybe a net amount.
Give me 1 second, Your Honor. I'm trying to find it.
Your Honor, if I may, I can clear all of this up. balance.
Okay, go ahead, Mr. Asif.
So the calculator on our website, Your Honor, it automatically gives it gives parties a credit for the Social Security taxes that they pay. In calculating the net resources, it deducts Social Security taxes.
Taxes, okay. So
Now, Mr. Budnar does not pay Social Security taxes. So, and he has a retirement cost of $600 a month that he pays into a retirement plan. So the numbers are going to be a little different because I had to end up calculating the support by hand because the calculator on the website automatically assumes certain things such as the Social Security tax. So I had to factor into account that Mr. Budnar is not paying Social Security taxes. He's paying a mandatory retirement cost instead. And that's why
pay mandatory what?
a mandatory payment towards retirement, Your Honor.
So you're saying it's coming out of his paycheck to put into a pension fund?
Yes, ma'am, and that's mandatory for my contract.
Yes, but for child support purposes, would you not agree, Mr. Asif, that that's considered income?
I deducted that from the gross resources to get the net resources. And that's not income. That's money that he's paying towards the plan.
So you're not even, y'all aren't even in dispute on that. It's something else that you're in dispute on? And it's not the
So, Your Honor,
mandatory retirement pay?
total resources include income received, severance pay, retirement benefits, pensions, but we also have to deduct non-discretionary retirement plans for obligors who do not pay Social Security taxes. So in calculating Mr. Budnar's net resources, the calculator on our website automatically deducts Social Security taxes from that amount. What it should do instead, Your Honor, is deduct the amount of the retirement cost instead of the Social Security taxes. Because we need to deduct non-discretionary retirement plans for obligors who do not pay Social Security taxes.
Okay, I got that.
That's Texas Family Code 154.062.
However, y'all stipulated to the $6,093.73 a month gross?
75 cents, Your Honor, but yes,
75 cents.
for the gross, yes. The dispute is over.
But that includes your way of calculating gross. No, okay, you haven't, it's your net that you're just, y'all are.
Yes, Your Honor, the dispute is over net.
Okay,
Your Honor, can I ask a question?
yes, sir.
Can I ask the attorney what's the actual net income number that he had for the previous year? Because I have the pay stub on how the net income is.
Your Honor, I do have a pay stub that suggests Mr. Budnar makes a greater amount of gross monthly resources. If you would like for me to present it, I can certainly do that.
I'm talking about the one from last year, from very last.
But Mr. Budnar, what you're not probably understanding is that your net amount on your paycheck, which you actually bring home, is going to be different from a child support net because they might be taking out things that we consider income and we have to leave in, even if you don't get to bring it home. And that's the only reason I can think of that you would get different net numbers. So no, I'm not going to let you compare net. I was more interested in the gross, and it sounds like you both agreed that your gross is there's the same number, $6,093.75 per month. Can you tell me what your annual income is? What you make in a year time with before taxes are deducted and all that?
My base salary is 52.
I'm not sure that's the answer, but okay. $6,093.75 times 12. Did I do that right? 73,000 or 70-some thousand? Times 12. I get 73,125 gross income based on that monthly amount times 12. And you're saying you get 52.
There's my base salary plus the overtime.
Well, okay. Base salary is not it. It's all salary. So that's how I think they got the higher number. Got it, Mr. Budnar?
Yes, Your Honor.
So just do the math for me. You already agreed to or stipulated to the gross, then tell me what the net is, and then tell me what the adjusted net is, and then do the percentage for, is it one child?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay.
So the monthly gross is, so going off the monthly gross is $6,093.75. To get net, Your Honor, I subtracted, first thing I did was I subtracted the cost of the mandatory retirement plan Mr. Budnar has to pay into. It's my understanding that's $600 a month. So I subtracted that amount. And then I subtracted the amount of the health insurance, the cash medical and cash dental support being requested, which is a total of $119.47 per month. And then I subtracted I had to calculate Mr. Budnar's federal income taxes as well as the Medicare tax that, and I've calculated that at the total at $730.15 per month. So $6,093.75 minus 600 minus 119.47 minus 730.15 is equal to $4,644.13. That's what I got for net resources, Your Honor.
Let me catch up with you. I'm doing the math so I can be on the same page. And I'm doing it individually. Team. 4644. I got 12 cents, man. I don't know if I was off on a penny or something, but $4,644 a month net with some sense. That's what you got, Mr. Mazzie?
Could you repeat that number, Your Honor?
$4,644. And you said 13 cents. I got 12 cents. I'm not going to redo the math for that. But okay.
Yes, Your Honor. That would be correct.
And then you multiplied it times 20%?
Yes, Your Honor. There's only one child in this case, and it's my understanding Mr. Budnar does not have any other children.
And that's what got you to 928 or 9 something, 920?
I got $929.
929. Okay, I understand how you got it. I don't know how to tell you to prove your side, Mr. Budnar, because I think what you're telling me is that somebody did a different math for you on a different date, and that's why you want to stick to the original calculation. Is that what I'm understanding?
Pretty much, Your Honor, and I wish I would have asked the lady to send me an email with the transcripts and numbers, but I don't have it for you.
So if mom agreed to that number, that was the number calculated, why didn't y'all enter into an agreement for the court to sign later? Why did you go away without an agreement?
On that amount.
Because what?
We never agreed to that amount. My understanding was Jenny never agreed to that amount that was brought up last month.
Do you have any idea why it fell apart, Mr. Asif? So or the agreement?
Yes, Your Honor. My understanding is there was a dispute over the amount of over what the guideline support would be, and my understanding also is there were some issues with credits our financial staff had to clear out the last that came to our attention at the last setting, which we have since done so.
And can you make me understand why this calculation is different today than what it was done by probably some other person?
What likely happened, at the last setting, Your Honor, what likely happened was there was an error was made in the calculation. The $850 a month requested does probably resulted from our website calculator automatically giving the Social Security tax and deducting that from gross resources, which is not the case for Mr. Budnar, as he does not pay Social Security taxes.
Okay, but mom didn't agree to that number. Is that what I'm understanding, or both?
I don't know, Your Honor. I was not on this case at the last setting.
Was it a child support officer that did it, or an assistant attorney general?
It was a child support officer, Your Honor.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Budnar, do you want to say anything else on the issue of guideline child support?
No, Your Honor.
You want to say anything else on the issue of medical support arrears that you think you don't know?
No, Your Honor.
Is anything else you want to say on anything on your case on your own behalf that you haven't been asked and hasn't been answered?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, let's hear from Ms. Vianney, Ms. Jesse.
Yes, Your Honor. Ms. Viana, if you could unmute yourself.
Yes.
Ms. Viana, can you please state your name?
Jenny Viana.
Please state the name of your child.
Arielyn Rose Viana.
Do you have access to private health insurance you can place the child on?
Yes, sir.
What is the cost, and does it cover dental as well?
No, that's separate.
Okay. What is the cost of the health insurance for just the child per month?
$112 with 97 cents.
And what is the cost of the dental coverage for just your child per month?
$6.50.
I have no further questions, Your Honor. I'll pass the witness.
Okay, can you kind of tell me from your knowledge, Ms. Viana, what happened the last time or why it fell apart, and if you remember any of the numbers that are,
Yes.
yeah, go ahead.
So our case has been reset 4 different times, and in the 4 different times, I've gotten 4 different amounts. Yes.
That usually doesn't happen. I'm sorry, but okay.
No, it's understandable. Nothing was set in stone, nothing was agreed upon, due to the fact that they needed to do something to fix it financially in regards to arrears and medical and all that stuff.
Your Honor,
So,
I just have to object to this line of questioning. Settlement negotiations is not something at liberty we can discuss. And I don't believe what happened in the past at prior settings is relevant. You know, we're here today on today's setting. Nothing was achieved at prior settings. No orders were signed. So I just don't see the relevance of this line of questioning.
Well, it kind of doesn't seem fair that they're told something, whatever it was. And I know I'm not admitting that for the negotiation for the purposes of this hearing, but I'd like to know where they were and from their own minds of how they got here. And if they went 4 different times and got 4 different amounts, well, there starts to be a problem for me. Ms. Viana, over what kind of lengthy time period did you go 4 times to the AG to not get a result? How long did it take for the 4 times to happen?
the first one was in February. The second one was in March 1st. The third one was April 4th, and then today.
Okay. And at no time did you reach an agreement at any of those dates?
No.
Okay. That's also unusual that you had to keep coming back was Mr. Budnar supposed to bring some proof of stuff then? Or are you supposed to bring proof of something before they could finish the calculations?
No, ma'am.
So you don't know why
To
they
my
kept
knowledge-
setting you in their office? It was for an office, not a court date, or was it a court date each and every time?
It was a court date every single time.
Okay, there's
was a-
sometimes I have too many cases, I can't hear some of them, and if you've been here for the first time, I might reset you a second time, but I don't know if I would purposely reset you for a 3rd and 4th time. But you were ready to come into the courtroom to tell me you didn't agree and that didn't happen, is that what you're saying?
I apologize. I meant to say that we never got into an agreement due to the fact that numbers were not matching financially on the report on the OAG website. So it wasn't matching to that financially. So they were trying to figure it out. And once they were trying to figure it out, they were going to give us the correct amount that we were supposed to, I was supposed to receive for Arielyn in arrears through medical and dental and whatever child support was owed in order to proceed with the new
Okay.
balance.
I don't know what actually happened. I don't know from the state's perspective. I don't want to know, but it usually doesn't happen for that many times that there's an error in their system. I've never seen that. I guess what I need to tell you is that if you did go that many times and they did look at it a different number of days, that it would have changed possibly because of the information they had for that particular date, what was on their system, and maybe it varied a little bit, but even if it was 4 different amounts, was the range very big, like a discrepancy between by $100, $200, something else, or?
Yes, ma'am. It was actually different every time. The very first time they gave me the amount of 1,057. The second time they gave me an amount of 1,027. The third time it was 1,146. And now it's a different amount.
And this is the lowest amount so far.
Correct.
Okay. On the issue of medical support arrears, is there any question that he owes a few dollars, the 700 and some dollars, or do you understand what he was saying, that he didn't know anything? Were you a part of at any point in time that he was told or that he understood that he didn't know anything for child support or medical support?
Ma'am, I wasn't in the meeting with him. We never met
separate.
together. Yes, we were
Okay.
separate.
And you know what pay records look like, the one we just saw?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Have you seen any of them in the past, to your recollection, that had a 0 on the medical support column?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Okay. Mr. Asif, do you have any follow-up?
No, Your Honor.
Now that you've heard her do you have any other witnesses, Mr. Asif?
No, Your Honor.
Now that you've heard her testimony, Mr. Budnar, do you want to reply to any of it?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any other evidence to present or any argument to present or witnesses to present, Mr. Budnar?
No, ma'am.
Do you, Ms. Viana?
No, ma'am.
The last thing I need to do is, because you're here and representing yourselves, you have the right of cross-examination. Mr. Budnar, do you have any questions for Ms. Viana on the issues before the court?
No, Your Honor.
And ma'am, do you have any cross-exam for him on the issues before the court?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, Mr. Budnar, your position hasn't changed. You're going to tell me that you don't owe any medical support and you shouldn't, and I shouldn't give you the lowest amount that's been calculated so far?
Your Honor, I know I have to go based on the evidence and what's in front of you, but it is what it is. I don't have anything that I can present to you to show no medical.
Yeah. And Ms. Viana, you're asking for what the state's requested, that, or you do have any differences of opinion with the state? With how much
I
you
do
owe, how
not.
to pay it off, and what he pays for support?
No.
Okay. You know, Mr. Budnar, everybody's entitled to their day in court, and I tried to give it to you. If I don't know what happened all those times, and I can't address it. I don't know who saw you and why the numbers are different. The best Mr. Asif can explain is that you didn't get some credits that you were entitled to, and that's why the numbers were different. But again, the numbers that I just heard, with giving you the credit you're entitled to, it's the lowest amount, not the highest amount. So you're still saying it should be lower than the 929?
I was told different numbers. I don't know what Jenny.
Objection, hearsay.
You're understanding what you knew, not what you were told, Mr. Budnar?
Yes, Your Honor. That was my understanding from different amount. But again, I was not in a conversation with Jenny and the child support officer. I had my own conversation with them.
Okay. I haven't seen anything that would make me think that the state's records are wrong, Mr. Budnar. I'll tell you that if you don't understand it or you find some proof elsewhere down the road or like right away, you contact the state, and have them explain it to you. But until and unless, or if you can appeal me, you can go to higher court and maybe have better evidence at that point than you do here today. But based on what was proven by the state's records, that's what I'm used to seeing. That's what they have, is the pay record that tracks it. And I've never seen an error as far as the math, because it's computer generated. So I'm going to find, well, first I'm going to prove all the agreements that you do have, including mothers to carry the medical insurance, the dental insurance. You're to pay $112.97 a month for medical, to reimburse that cost, and $6.50 for dental. Did you have a start date in mind, or something you need to talk to the parties about, Mr. Asif?
Yes, Your Honor, I'd like a start date of June 1st, 2025.
Okay. There's no non-disclosure request, so I won't address that. Based on the stipulated gross amount, I will go with the state's math on the calculation of guideline child support, and I will order $929 a month effective June 1st. On the issue of medical support arrears, I'll find the pay record did show as of April 30th, 2025, you owe $757.59 just for the medical support. You were not in arrears for the child support. Well, in fact, you do have to put a child support judgment of 0 and then the
Yes.
medical support judgment of the $757.59, Mr. Asif.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, and I will grant the $54 a month to pay that off, also starting June 1st. On the issue of court cost, I'm gonna waive them for him. If they had to come to court this many times to get heard or for it to be resolved, I'm not gonna charge him for this. So that doesn't apply. And Ms. Viana, it doesn't affect you at all. It's just money he might have owed. I'm gonna do him a favor and waive him at this time for being diligent, coming to court and having to wait so long today. Okay, anything else, Mr. Asif?
No, Your Honor.
The state's going to draft the order, Mr. Budnar. Ms. Viana, it's going to come to you by email for anything coming in from the Texas Office of the Attorney General. That's this proposed order that I'm ordering today, ruling on and rendering, which means it becomes my order. They do send you a courtesy copy to review to see if you see any errors or the birth dates are right or you understand everything. But if you don't call the AG to resolve any issues you may have, you can choose to sign it or choose not to sign it. On this one, Mr. Asif, I would prefer that they attempt to sign it as to form only. So if you'll put that in the signature lines.
As
that
to form
means-
only, yes.
As to
Yes, Your
form
Honor,
only.
I can do that.
That means that you don't agree to the substance, that you don't necessarily agree that what I said was right, but you do agree that that's what I did. And so you can sign it that way and that won't prejudice you if you want to appeal me. So you can do that. If you choose not to sign it, I tell the AG to send it to me by next Thursday. If you haven't signed it or they haven't heard from you by Wednesday to resolve whatever issues you may have had. Don't call me. You can't get to me. I can't talk to either of you. That would be against our ethics. So you have to call the AG to resolve it with them or sign the order so I can get it. And by next Thursday, if you haven't signed it, those will be submitted without your signature. Mr. Budnar than Ms. Viana, but however, you have the same right of appeal. You ended up with less than what they started according to your testimony. Again, I don't know what happened, but if you want to appeal me, you can do it too. So from the day you get the signed copy signed by me, the one that has my signature on it, they're gonna email it once I send it. Once I sign it, they send it to you. The day starts running as far as what your appeal rights are. You have 3 days from that date in which to file a written notice of appeal, putting in writing what the error that I made was or why you didn't, or that you think I was mistaken in my ruling. You have to be specific on what you're appealing. You have to put it in writing. You have to file it with the district clerk's office. This is in Hays County. It's the district clerk, the Hays County, the district court, district clerk's office. And then you have to send copies of that pleading that you filed to the state and to the other parent. And then you also have to follow up and call again, the court coordinator, the district clerk's office to get a court date for the appeal in the district judge's courtroom. If you do all that, you get another shot at the apple as far as taking it to another court and maybe having better proof if you come up with anything. If you don't, this is a final order today. However, if a judge changes it, then it undoes my order. If they don't change it, it stays the same. If you don't go to appeal, this is a good order anyway, starting now and the day I sign it until or unless somebody overturns it. So be mindful of that. If you're going to appeal, you need to start asking questions, start figuring it out because the 3 days goes fast. You miss the timeline, you're out of luck. You don't get a court date because you're waiting on them to call you with a court date. You're out of luck. You got to be proactive and do every step of the way as your own lawyer or hire a lawyer to do it. So if you don't appeal it, again, this is the order of the court now, and it'll remain the order if you don't, the order of the courts if you don't appeal. Mr. Asif, do you think it's too late to have it out by 5? So maybe by tomorrow you'll have it out?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so you have the weekend to look at it if you want and sign it as early next week if you want. Okay, you have any questions, sir?
No, Your Honor.
Any questions, ma'am?
No.
Then thank you for your long day today. Good luck to both of you and look for the paperwork in the email starting tomorrow.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank
Sounds
you.
Great. Thank you.
You're
Thank you, Your
excused.
Honor.
You can end the meeting for yourselves.